Did I just see what I thought I saw when it came to this episode of Yoru no Yatterman? Like, did they just hint that the General Gordo, I think that's his name, is supposedly the father of Gotchan and Aloete? I think that's how you say her name, probably just butchered it, but pretty much, did they just hint that the dog in Gordo, the General Gordo, is the father? Because they had a scene that implied that. They showed a family photo. It was kind of, you know, like brightened out where you couldn't tell who the father was and stuff like that. And you saw the dog that kind of looked like it was a mech now. So, did they just hint that the general was their father? If so, it seems like he is not even aware of it. If that is true, that means that his, like, brain has been manipulated by the Yatterman and he's been, like, you know, mechanized. So, a really interesting ending when it came to this episode. So, I just want to say something. Now that we're really far into Yoru no Yatterman, I think I have a good perspective of what I should really feel when it comes to this series. One thing I have to say is I feel, once again, that this series is really just meant for the original fans of Yatterman. Like, straight up, if you are a newcomer into this series, a lot of these certain references or different cliches and stuff that probably happened in the original series is going to just fly over your head. And once again, I'm having that problem with this episode because there's just so many things I know that probably the original series had that really had some really good things to it, like with certain cliches, and a lot of old original fans probably enjoyed that. But as newcomers into this series, we're just, you know, looking at the comedy and the style of it like, okay, so what are we supposed to think here? Because with the episode, it once again does something very weird. Like, the dude that wore the bear clothing or whatever, you know, that saved Duranjo in this episode, well, he just dies in this episode, and I felt like the way he died was just like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, he got shot, he threw a rock and saved her, which that was very noble what he did, but when he died, he just, you had this happy-go-lucky music playing. You saw the ass-pull mech going through the, like, ground, you know, escaping, and this dude just falls over and dies. And I'm thinking, like, for one thing, the music is not really right for that overall scene. Like, there should have been some slow pace or sad music or something. I don't know. Just the music, in my opinion, did not suit that scene, especially with the dude just dying right there. I mean, it's all happy-go-lucky after that. So I felt like the tone shifts in that little area of the episode was like, yo, like, what the fuck? And then the overall way the mechs appear, I personally, as a watcher of this series, I don't know how to feel about that, because the mechs just keep popping up out of nowhere, and I've been told that, you know, that's kind of how this series is, but still, it just, the way they just pop up just to save the day every single episode, it's very, like, easy to predict, like, what is going to happen every week, because, I mean, every single episode thus far has had a mech just pop out of nowhere from underground and just start wrecking the Yatterman, and then they escape, Yatterman, you know, gets foiled. That's pretty much what happens every single episode. And I know there's a story progression in this episode, like there is some plot progression, but it's really just starting to get very, very predictable, and I just hope it tries to do something different, because I'm not a big fan of seeing mechs constantly just popping up randomly, like every so often, like, you know, right at the end, every single same format, just popping up. And so, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, because I feel like, once again, this series is just meant for the original watchers. It's not meant for newcomers at all. Like, seriously, just sling the newcomers off when it comes to Yatterman, and that's exactly what it's for. It's just meant for the original fans. And how do y'all feel about that? I mean, if you're a newcomer to Yoru no Yatterman, I mean, how do you feel about this series? How do you feel about that? I love y'all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.